welcome back to the channel and to this video. Today we are going to be doing something a little different than I've got posted on the video or on the channel so far. We are going to be working on this little warehouse here, and what I'm going to start by doing is painting all of the door baffles. We got 2 for the train side and 6, I think it was. Yeah, 6 for the truck side. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some, I've got some gray in here that I had before mixed up with some IPA. I'm going to add some more IPA in there, and then I'm going to add in some Tamiya XF1 flat black and do it the boomer style and make that stretch as far as it'll go. Airbrush the baffling and we will go from there. Alright, so there was a little bit more grayish blue in there than I actually thought, and it's not a big deal. I think I like this color. I can't really get a good visual of it on camera here, but I think it'll work out. At the very least, I can do a few coats of this and then maybe go over it lightly with another straight black and give it a little bit of highlights or something. But we will just try and see. I mean, this is all about failures and efforts, right? Yeah, I think that turned out pretty well. I like the color. Ooh, hey, focus on the right thing. I like the coloring. It's got just enough of that light gray blue that it looks a little weathered. So weathering powder should make it really pop on this. So a quick dry test fit. Of course, I haven't even painted the building yet. I should probably get to that next. I am going to add in some lighting. First of all, I am going to, let me drop this down there. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to get some styrene, and I'm going to build like a little office area here, and then I'm going to light the inside of the building and have a couple of doors open. Not every door is going to be open. Not every door is going to have a truck. I think I'll have 2 tractor trailers, 1 drop trailer, and maybe this door here is off of where the layout comes, so I might have this one just kind of open and a little bit of a scene in here. But in between the baffles of the docks, I wish I would just stay in there, but I'm gonna throw in a little LED, a green and a blue, or green and a blue, green and a red. 3 red because the trailers will be in the dock, and then 3 green. We'll see. Also could be flashing, so there's options, but I do want to put in the green dock lights or the red dock lights, or dock lights in this thing. But I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what kind of color paint I've got and see if I have something that I can paint this building now. So I decided to go with the XF66 light gray, and then I added just a tinge of JN Gray XF12. I don't really think you can notice it in it, but I wanted something a little different than just straight up gray, you know what I mean? So just doing a preliminary zoop over it. Obviously I did mix it with IPA. I could probably do a little bit more IPA. In fact, once this is done, I've just got the back wall to do at this point, and then I might thin it down a little bit more and then go over it a little bit. It does have streaking, which is fine. I'm going in an up and down motion. Along the bottom I went back and forth, but for the most part I'm trying to do up and down to basically mimic some weathering as well. And in fact, even on the camera it looks good the way it is. I might not do a second coat. I might. I'll see. I'll see how it goes. But yeah. So far, I'm liking this light gray. I think it'll look good. I might do a strip along the top in like a blue or something, but I don't know. I think this might be too dark of a gray to do anything like a stripe. If I went more of a white, it might have worked. So we'll see. I'm kind of playing this by ear as I do with everything else on this layout. So as I continue, I'm doing the bumpers and the dock plate. Look at, ooh, hey, focus. Only got two hands. I can't do a whole bunch of. I might touch that up, or I might not. I might put this at a dock where there's probably going to be a truck. I don't have the steadiest of hands. I'm using the model color Vallejo flat green 70968, and I think it works well. Right now, it's still got the sheen of the wetness, but I'm going to do some rusting and weathering and that sort of stuff on there. And yeah, so far, so good. Here's a little mock-up so far of what I've got. I did only do one coat of the gray on the building. Like I said, it's got the streaks, and I actually like the way that looks because it gives just enough deterioration. So aside from putting on a little bit of grime, the weathering is already starting to come through. Got the bolsters, or whatever they're called, the little the spongy seals. I got them all painted, and then I've got the bumpers and the little dock plates painted. Now I'm gonna have to go inside here and give that a little bit of a green paint job, I think, but I can probably do that once I get the these parts glued in place. I'll probably do that first and then glue in the doors. I still have to paint those. I'm thinking I might go for like a white door on those, and or maybe like an ivory. Something's bugging the dog, but yeah, I do like an ivory or something, just a little bit of an aged white. And then, yeah, should be able to put those pieces together. Also, I was thinking, originally, kit bashing the little inside of the building. However, I've come up with a little plan as I try to do this here. I've got leftover parts. A kit comes with more parts than what you need. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I'm going to take one of these skinny pieces, and then I've got down here on the floor. Now I've got more parts, but I might use that one actually. Got the double doors, and then I'll just stick them inside. I'll take some styrene and make a little, not a floor, but a little thing for them to sit on, and then use those parts in there. And then I'll have some lighting in there as well. And then, like I said, I'll have some lighting in here. This door will definitely be an open door. I've got to paint the inside. I got to figure out what color I want to do that in. And so this building has a long ways to go before I am near being done with it. But I might take a break here in a little bit because I've got these in the modern wood crossings and real railer ends. I got 2 packs of them, not realizing that it would, in fact, do what I need it to do, just one of them. So I need to get to painting these things, and then I can start doing the work on the road. So this is the truck that I have showcased previously, I think a couple of times now, actually. That I got from the train show a couple of months ago, and I've decided that I wanted to put some lights in it and make it kind of a static display kind of on itself, but yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to end up, but a while ago, last time I was at Hobbytown, I found that they actually do carry some Evans Designs LEDs. So I bought a pack. It's a 5-pack for $15.99. They're nano little LEDs. They were red. When I got it home, that's when I found out that the package was already opened up and somebody decided to take 2 of them for themselves. So whoever stole those, you are quite welcome. Right now, I've just got those 3. I did them to test it out, and it works. Now I will order more from Evans Design because there's a lot of them that I need. Right now, I've got a 9-volt battery inside with the 3 lights that I put on the back, which not the greatest of job, but that's why I started with the back, so I could kind of test myself. I'm going to throw at least 2 more up top and at least 2 more in the bottom in the brake signal area. And then I want to do 9 lights top and bottom, so 9 up top, 9 on bottom on both sides, and then put at least 5 across the top on the front of the trailer. And then on the cab, we're going to do the brake lights in the center there, the 2 beside where the plate would be. On the back of the cab, there are 2 amber lights that will go amber. And then the 5 lights on the sun visor. I want to get into the markers. And then he's got some along the bumper and a whole bunch down the side. Now, I'm not too sure exactly how I'm going to do this. I do want to light up as much as I can. Definitely want to get the 5 up here, the markers and the headlights assembly, and the 2 on the back. But I'm thinking what I might do is get like a bigger size LED, amber LED, and put it inside and see if I can't do some sort of a fiber optic idea and just drill out as many holes as I can and put as many fibers, you know, in these lights here, because there's what, 3, 4, 5, 66, 67 amber lights just on the cab alone, if I were able to fill up each one of those little lights. I did put, like I said, right now there is a 9-volt battery inside. Not sure if that's going to be the final way that I power this up. I might have it go underneath the layout to a DC power supply. But I kind of like being on a battery, being self-contained. That's the word I was looking for. Because I could have it here at this dock, or I could have it at that dock, or I could have it over there in the town. I could have it on the bridge. That's another place. I could have it anywhere I want. So right now I've got a little switch underneath to turn them on and off. And like I said, right now I've just got the 3. There we go. It's a little stiff. I've just got the 3. They're not, like I said, they're not perfect. This one's down and over a little bit too far to the right. These 2 are not bad. They can't, unfortunately, get closer to the roof line because the plastic is just that thick. I'm right there at the end. So, like I said, at least 2 more up here if I can. I'd like to get more because I've got more on my trailer, but I'm not going to get too fussy, especially being at the back. 90% of the time, especially if it's, you know, going to be wired into the layout. This is going to be up against the dock anyways, so it's not a big deal. Along the side, though, I do want to put, like I said, at least 9 up and down the side. So, yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out so far. Definitely not going to complain. This is a very sticky, tight switch. There we go. One other thing that I need to get done today, aside from the, well, not today, but aside from the warehouse and the truck, is the road. And that's really what kind of started this whole endeavor out today, is that the past couple of days I've actually wanted to get cracking on this, but in order to do this, I needed to figure out what I was going to do for the grade crossing. And I thought about doing what I did over here and just putting some gypsylite through it. But that's tedious work. And I really don't want to foul up the rails as much as I can. So I ended up finding out that Walthers has this kit here, the modern wood crossing with re-railer ends. I'm not too sure I'm going to do the re-railers. This part here I'm not going to use. I just basically need the stuff that goes around the rails. So I need to paint that. It is in just the regular plastic. I did not realize, I mean, it says In their description online, it says it can do 2, but I didn't think that it'd be able to do 2 of this whole section. And it turns out it literally goes from my arrow to my arrow. So I only needed 1 pack. I've got 2 packs. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm happy. I've got more than I need. And if I screw up on it, then I've got some ample supplies. Plus, I can come over here and maybe do those ones there. Do this one or something. So, yeah. If not, kit bashing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got a quick mock-up of the 6 doors as they stand now. I've got them painted in the green, which was a Vallejo. I've already put it away, but it's this one here. The Vallejo Flat Green 70968. It worked out better than I thought. My biggest concern was losing the detail of the diamond plate. I was worried about that, but it went on super easy with this brush here. I was able to get in there perfectly. So right now I'm going to put this on the back shelf. I want to get the tracks painted. All right, I think I found something that I really like. So I tried this weathering mix rust from Hunterline, hunterline.com. Not sponsored, obviously, but they seemed like they had a good product, and they had a ton of different colors, and I wish I would have gotten more, but I wanted to test it out, and I haven't seen them since. Honestly, can't remember even how much this bottle was. I want to say it was like $10 or something like that, 10, 15, something like that. Anyways, it's lasted forever. So I did one of these strips in that, and it really didn't do much because it's a like a wash. It's a stain. So it didn't do much, and then I decided, well, I'll stick with the Vallejo Model Air 71.077 wood, to which it looks decent enough. You know, I just kind of put a light brushing on there. You can see it's got, you know, darker spots and everything, which is kind of what I was hoping for. You can kind of see the difference. It takes a little bit of that orange out and then fills in the holes of, you know, where the not nails, but the where they attach the boards. What would they be? Bolts, I guess. As well as, you know, you can kind of see right there that it starts to give a little bit of a discoloration to the board. So this is going to be a phenomenal pair here. Again, the Vallejo Model Air and the Hunterline weathering mix, the rust. I really wish I would have gotten more. They had, you know, like old decrepit wood, like that bluish gray, that slate gray, and that would have worked perfect on this, but zoom out. But dude, that's gonna look awesome. I am so happy the way that is turning out. All right, so I have attached the buffers and the dock plates. Still got to come in here and paint that. I got to remember to do that before I put the doors on. Almost didn't. So, yeah. But I don't have a color I like for the doors. And in fact, I really do like the white that it's molded in. So I just took some Testors dull coat that I've got and just gone over the doors and just given it, you know, a little bit of a like a used look, and took that plastic shine down just a little bit. So now I am adding in the plastic windows into the doors, and then this one here, I think I've mentioned I'm going to have this one sitting up a little bit. So I've shaved off the one little side there, whatever you want to call it, arm, and then on the bottom they had these little where the keeps focusing on the wrong things. It's got some extra plastic there, so that way you can, you know, put the cement on there. So I shaved that off of this one here to give it that clean bottom of the door proper look. So and I've gone and rusted up some of them, well, all but one. That's got a brand new dock plate in there, but all the rest of them I have done to varying degrees of rust. Some I don't like. I've hidden, I put them in doors that I'm probably going to have trailers, like these two here, probably going to have trailers in it. This one, like I said, will have the owner operator that's lit up. But that's close to the edge there, so I liked having the clean brand new plate there for that one. And this one here is probably the best one that I've got, and that's going to be the open door off the edge of the layout. So wanted to kind of put the best one there, obviously. So that's that much done. Like I said, I'm getting the windows in, and then I got to remember to paint the inside of this, the dock plate color. All right, so you can see that I've got the doors in. I've left the end one over there halfway up, and then these 4 doors are shut, and then this one is open. Got these door windows in. Don't have that one in yet, but I do have the 2 back doors in as well. And as you can see in the foreground here, I've been kind of kit bashing, using parts from this kit. Built this little entryway that will sit right in here. It'll sit nice and tight, and I'll have a light up here shining down, and then I will have another couple in the warehouse. I think the warehouse I'm just going to kind of build not very deep. I might come up to this little joint here and build a wall, as it doesn't really need to be deep. I just want something that has a little depth in there, so that's where I'm at now. I gotta figure out what color I want to paint this, if I even want to paint it. I mean, it might actually work in that color. I think, you know what, I think it might actually work in that color. Might paint the floor like a gray or something for concrete, but I think that color will work. So you gotta love when a plan comes to fruition, or whatever that saying is. So originally my thought was to take some styrene and build a wall in the back and come out this way somehow. And I got to thinking that that's a lot of styrene that I could use somewhere else. Then I got to thinking, as I was cleaning up, there were a lot of bigger sections of wall here. And yeah, they've got doors in them, but that's okay. I've been to warehouses that have had doors in a structural wall. What I'm doing, you can see this one here is the full meal deal, right? That's the wall, and then up in this little lip here is where the roof line would sit. So what I'm doing is I'm scoring along it, and then I'm bending it with these loppers or whatever they are. I don't know what they are. I believe I inherited them from an in-law when they passed. But anyways, I'm scoring it and then bending them off right there so they'll sit flush, and they will be, again, a nice support down the center. Somewhere down the center of the building. So this will go like that, and then I think I had like 1 or 2 more of these over here. So I've cut off 2 more just to, possibly extend this out, or rather, I guess it would. Well, yeah, I guess it would be there. But anyways, I got 2 more little skinny ones here with some doors in it that I can mix and match and try to figure this out. I'm gonna start by sectioning them down and go from there. All right, so I'm gonna call it here today. Put in a full day almost of doing stuff. So I got that kind of prepped and ready to go. I can start on building this road any point now. I'm kind of getting cracking on this, but I think I'm going to be pretty much at a spot where I got to stop for a little bit. This turned out really well. I'm really happy how that turned out. Again, I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to leave it this color because on the inside, I mean, first of all, you've got to actually be down here to see the walls, but I think it looks well enough. It's concrete color, and yeah, it doesn't need anything. Not sure what I want to do here, if I want to leave the walls blank and then have the holes. And again, like I said, you're going to have to be standing just right to be able to really see in there as it is anyways. And once the floor gets in there, it's going to cover most of the stuff. But the floor will come up to basically the bottom of those doors, which are the same level as these doors. So I'm not sure if I want to just leave them open, put like bay doors or something, kind of do a little bit of work and just kind of leave it as is, or if I want to try to figure out how to print a scene of a warehouse off in HO scale. If I can figure out how to get the scaling right, I'd like to do that. That way you can just glue it to the wall, and then it really finishes it off. And if you come down here, if I'm videoing or something and I'm looking in through the door, you see, you know, stacks of pallets and then that sort of stuff. So we'll see what I can come up with. It's no big deal if it doesn't work out that way or what have you. It'll work. And I got to figure out why this roof isn't quite right. I don't think I put the braces on. I think I put them too low, so I got to play around with that. I am going to do a grout up on the roof, so that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to doing that. But man, that brings the scene to a completely different level. I do have to have a shim in here because, you know, me and being level and straight and all that just doesn't seem to work out too well. But thankfully that shim works perfectly. I've just got to cut it down and paint it, you know, a concrete color or whatever I paint the parking lot. Yeah. But anyways, that is going to wrap it up for today. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope, you know, it's giving you some sort of inspiration to get working on your layout or start a layout, or what have you. So thank you all so much for watching, and happy railroading.